Tutorial 12, Aviation Weather Services. This lesson will cover aviation weather services. Through a complex system of weather services, government agencies, and independent weather observers, pilots and other aviation professionals receive the benefit of this vast knowledge base in the form of up-to-date weather reports and forecasts. These reports and forecasts enable pilots to make informed decisions regarding weather and flight safety before and during a flight. There are 4 types of weather observations: surface, upper air, radar, and satellite. Surface aviation weather observations, METARs, are a compilation of elements of the current weather at individual ground stations across the United States that provide continuous, up-to-date weather information. Automated weather sources, such as the Automated Weather Observing Systems, AWOS, Automated Surface Observing Systems, ASOS, Air Route Traffic Control Center, ARTCC facilities, as well as other automated facilities, also play a major role in the gathering of surface observations. Surface observations provide local weather conditions and other relevant information for a radius of 5 miles of a specific airport. This information includes the type of report, station identifier, date and time, modifier as required, wind, visibility, runway visual range, RVR, weather phenomena, sky condition, temperature dew point, altimeter reading, and applicable remarks. Although the reports cover only a small radius, the pilot can generate a good picture of the weather over a wide area when many reporting stations are looked at together. The ARTCC facilities are responsible for maintaining separation between flights conducted under Instrument Flight Rules, IFR, in the en route structure. Center radars, Air Route Surveillance Radar, ARSR, acquire and track transponder returns using the same basic technology as terminal radars. Controllers can select the level of weather to be displayed. Observations of upper air weather are more challenging than surface observations. There are only 2 methods by which upper air weather phenomena can be observed: radiosonde observations and pilot weather reports, PIREPs. A radiosonde is a small, cubic instrumentation package which is suspended below a 6-foot hydrogen or helium-filled balloon. As it ascends, the instrumentation gathers various pieces of data such as air temperature and pressure, as well as wind speed and direction. Pilots also provide vital information regarding upper air weather observations and remain the only real-time source of information regarding turbulence, icing, and cloud heights. This information is gathered and filed by pilots in flight. Together, PIREPs and radiosonde observations provide information on upper air conditions important for flight planning. Many domestic and international airlines have equipped their aircraft with instrumentation that automatically transmits in-flight weather observations through the data link system to the airline dispatcher, who disseminates the data to appropriate weather forecasting authorities. Weather observers use 4 types of radar to provide information about precipitation, wind, and weather systems. The WSR-88D NEXRAD radar, commonly called Doppler radar, shown top left, provides in-depth observations that inform surrounding communities of impending weather. Doppler radar has 2 operational modes: clear air and precipitation. In clear air mode, the radar is in its most sensitive operational mode because a slow antenna rotation allows the radar to sample the atmosphere longer. Precipitation targets provide stronger return signals. Therefore, the radar is operated in the precipitation mode when precipitation is present, which can be seen on the top right. Intensities are correlated to intensity terminology for air traffic control purposes, shown on the bottom. FAA Terminal Doppler Weather Radar, installed at some major airports around the country, also aids in providing severe weather alerts and warnings to ATC. Terminal radar ensures pilots are aware of wind shear, gust fronts, and heavy precipitation. The 3rd type of radar commonly used in the detection of precipitation is the FAA Airport Surveillance Radar. This radar is used primarily to detect aircraft, but it also detects the location and intensity of precipitation, which is used to route aircraft traffic around severe weather in an airport environment. And the last type of radar is airborne radar. It is equipment carried by aircraft to locate weather disturbances. Advancement in satellite technologies has recently allowed for commercial use to include weather uplinks. Pilots now have the capability of receiving continuously updated weather across the entire country at any altitude. No longer are pilots restricted by radio range or geographic isolations, such as mountains or valleys. Shown on the left, SIGMETs are weather advisories issued concerning weather significant to the safety of all aircraft. SIGMET advisories can cover an area of at least 3,000 square miles and provide data regarding severe and extreme turbulence, severe icing, and widespread dust or sandstorms that reduce visibility to less than 3 miles. Shown on the right, AirMets are weather advisories issued only to amend the area forecast concerning weather phenomena which are of operational interest to all aircraft. AirMets concern weather of less severity than that covered by SIGMETs, or convective SIGMETs. AirMets cover moderate icing, moderate turbulence, sustained winds of 30 knots or more at the surface, widespread areas of ceilings less than 1,000 feet and/or visibility less than 3 miles, and extensive mountain obscurement. Prior to every flight, pilots should gather all information vital to the nature of the flight. This includes an appropriate weather briefing obtained from a specialist at an FSS, AFSS, or NWS. For weather specialists to provide an appropriate weather briefing, they need to know which of the 3 types of briefings is needed: standard, abbreviated, or Outlook. Other helpful information is whether the flight is Visual Flight Rules, VFR, or IFR, aircraft identification and type, departure point, estimated time of departure, ETD, flight altitude, route of flight, destination, and estimated time en route, ETE. A standard briefing is the most complete report and provides the overall weather picture. This type of briefing should be obtained prior to the departure of any flight and should be used during flight planning. A standard briefing provides the following information in sequential order if it is applicable to the route of flight. 1. Adverse conditions. This includes significant weather such as thunderstorms or aircraft icing, or other important items such as airport closings. 2. VFR flight not recommended. If the weather for the route of flight is below VFR minimums, or if it is doubtful the flight could be made under VFR conditions due to the forecast weather, the briefer may state that VFR is not recommended. It is the pilot's decision whether or not to continue the flight under VFR, but this advisory should be weighed carefully. 3. Synopsis, an overview of the larger weather picture. Fronts and major weather systems that affect the general area are provided. 4. Current conditions. This portion of the briefing contains the current ceilings, visibility, winds, and temperatures. 5. En route forecast, a summary of the weather forecast for the proposed route of flight. 6. Destination forecast, a summary of the expected weather for the destination airport at the estimated time of arrival. 7. Winds and temperatures aloft, a report of the winds at specific altitudes for the route of flight. The temperature information is provided only on request. 8. Notices to airmen, information pertinent to the route of flight which has not been published in the NOTAM publication. 9. ATC delays, an advisory of any known ATC delays that may affect the flight. 10. Other information. At the end of the standard briefing, the FSS specialist provides the radio frequencies needed to open a flight plan and to contact EFAS. An abbreviated briefing is a shortened version of the standard briefing. It should be requested when a departure has been delayed or when weather information is needed to update the previous briefing. An Outlook briefing should be requested when a planned departure is 6 hours or more away. It provides initial forecast information that is limited in scope due to the time frame of the planned flight. This type of briefing is a good source of flight planning information that can influence decisions regarding route of flight, altitude, and ultimately the go/no-go decision. Aviation weather reports are designed to give accurate depictions of current weather conditions. Each report provides current information that is updated at different times. Some typical reports are METAR, PIREPS, and Radar Weather Reports, SDs. Shown above is a METAR. A METAR is an observation of current surface weather reported in a standard international format. METARs are issued hourly unless significant weather changes have occurred. A special METAR, SPECI, can be issued at any interval between routine METAR reports. A typical METAR report contains the following information in sequential order. 1. Type of report, METAR. There are two different types of METAR reports. The first is the routine METAR report that is transmitted every hour. The second is the aviation-selected SPECI. This is a special report that can be given at any time to update the METAR for rapidly changing weather conditions, aircraft mishaps, or other critical information. 2. Station Identifier, KGGG, a four-letter code as established by the International Civil Aviation Organization, ICAO. Above shows the identifier for Gregg County Airport in Longview, Texas, K being the country designation and GGG being the airport identifier. Alaska identifiers always begin with the letters PA, and Hawaii identifiers always begin with the letters PH. 3. Date and time of report, 161753Z, depicted in a 6-digit group. The first two numbers stand for the day of the month. The last four stand for time converted to Zulu time, which is depicted at the end with the letter Z. 4. Modifier, auto, denotes that the METAR came from an automated source or that the report was corrected. If the notation auto is listed in the METAR, the report came from an automated source. It also lists A01 or A02 in the remarks section to indicate the type of precipitation sensors employed at the automated station. When the modifier COR is used, it identifies a corrected report sent out to replace an earlier report that contained an error. 5. Wind, 14021G26. Reported with a 5-digit code unless the speed of the wind is over 99 knots. The first 3 digits indicate the direction the true wind is blowing in tens of degrees. If the wind is variable, it is reported as VRB. The last 2 digits indicate the speed of the wind in knots. If the winds are gusting, the letter G follows the wind speed, followed by the peak gust recorded. 6. Visibility, 3/4 SM. The prevailing visibility is reported in statute miles as denoted by the letters SM. It is reported in both miles and fractions of miles. At times, runway visual range, RVR, is reported following the prevailing visibility. RVR is the distance a pilot can see down the runway in a moving aircraft. When RVR is reported, it is shown with an R, then the runway number, followed by a slant, then the visual range in feet. 7. Weather, plus TSRA-BR, can be broken down into 2 different categories, qualifiers and weather phenomenon. First, the qualifiers of intensity, proximity, and the descriptor of the weather will be given. The intensity may be light, minus, moderate, blank, or heavy, plus. Proximity only depicts weather phenomena that are in the airport vicinity. The notation VC indicates a specific weather phenomenon is in the vicinity of 5 to 10 miles from the airport. Descriptors are used to describe certain types of precipitation and obscurations. Weather phenomena may be reported as being precipitation, obscurations, and other phenomena such as squalls or funnel clouds. Descriptions of weather phenomena as they begin or end and hailstone size are also listed in the remarks section of the report. 8. Sky condition, BKN 008, OVC 012CB, always reported in the sequence of amount, height, and type or indefinite ceiling height. The heights of the cloud bases are reported with a 3-digit number in hundreds of feet AGL. The types of clouds, specifically towering cumulus, TCU, or cumulonimbus, CB clouds, are reported with their height. Contractions are used to describe the amount of cloud coverage and obscuring phenomena. The amount of sky coverage is reported in eighths of the sky from horizon to horizon. 9. Temperature and dew point, 18/17. The air temperature and dew point are always given in degrees Celsius. Temperatures below 0 degrees Celsius are preceded by the letter M to indicate minus. 10. Altimeter setting, A2970. Reported as inches of mercury, Hg, in a 4-digit number group, it is always preceded by the letter A. Rising or falling pressure may also be denoted in the remarks section as PRESRR or PRESFR, respectively. 11. Remarks. The remarks section always begins with the letters RMK. Comments may or may not appear in this section of the METAR. The information contained in this section may include wind data, variable visibility, beginning and ending times of particular phenomenon, pressure information, and various other information deemed necessary. PIREPs provide valuable information regarding the conditions as they actually exist in the air, which cannot be gathered from any other source. Pilots can confirm the height of bases and tops of clouds, locations of wind shear and turbulence, and the location of in-flight icing. When unexpected weather conditions are encountered, pilots are encouraged to make a report to an FSS or ATC. When a pilot weather report is filed, the ATC facility or FSS will add it to the distribution system to brief other pilots and provide in-flight advisories. The image above shows the elements of a PIREP form. Item numbers 1 through 5 are required information when making a report, as well as at least one weather phenomenon encountered. Pilot reports are easily decoded, and most contractions used in the reports are self-explanatory. A TAF is a report established for the 5-statute-mile radius around an airport. TAF reports are usually given for larger airports. Each TAF is valid for a 30-hour time period and is updated 4 times a day at 0000 Zulu, 0600 Zulu, 1200 Zulu, and 1800 Zulu. The TAF utilizes the same descriptors and abbreviations as used in the METAR report. The TAF indicates the following information in sequential order. 1. Type of report, TAF. A TAF can be either a routine forecast, TAF, or an amended forecast, TAF-AMD. 2. ICAO Station Identifier, KPIR. Same identifiers as a METAR report. 3. Date and time, 11:11:30 Zulu. Date is the first 2 numbers, followed by the time being the last 4 numbers given in Zulu time. 4. Valid period, date and time, 11:12:12. The valid forecast time period is given by a 6-digit number group. The first 2 numbers indicate the date, followed by the 2-digit beginning time for the valid period, and the last 2 digits are the ending time. 5. Forecast wind, 15012 KT. The wind direction and speed forecast are given in a 5-digit number group. The first 3 indicate the direction of the wind in reference to true north. The last 2 digits state the wind speed in knots as denoted by the letters KT. 6. Forecast visibility, P6SM, given in statute miles, and may be in whole numbers or fractions. If the forecast is greater than 6 miles, it will be coded as P6SM. 7. Forecast significant weather. Weather phenomena are coded in the TAF reports in the same format as the METAR. If no significant weather is expected during the forecast time period, The denotation NSW is included in the becoming or temporary weather groups. 8. Forecast sky condition, given in the same manner as the METAR. Only cumulonimbus CB clouds are forecast in this portion of the TAF report, as opposed to CBs and towering cumulus in the METAR. 9. Forecast change group. For any significant weather change forecast to occur during the TAF time period, the expected conditions and time period are included in this group. This information may be shown as from FM, becoming BECMG, and temporary tempo. FM is used when a rapid and significant change, usually within an hour, is expected. Becoming is used when a gradual change in the weather is expected over a period of no more than 2 hours. Tempo is used for temporary fluctuations of weather expected to last less than 1 hour. 10. Probability forecast. A given percentage that describes the probability of thunderstorms and precipitation occurring in the coming hours. This forecast is not used for the first 6 hours of the 24-hour forecast. The FA gives a picture of clouds, general weather conditions, and visual meteorological conditions, VMC, expected over a large area encompassing several states. There are 6 areas for which area forecasts are published in the contiguous 48 states. Area forecasts are issued 3 times a day and are valid for 18 hours. Area forecasts are typically disseminated in 4 sections and include the following information. 1. Header DFWC FA 120945 gives the location identifier of the source of the FA, the date and time of issuance, the valid forecast time, and the area of coverage. 2. Precautionary statements. IFR conditions, mountain obscurations, and thunderstorm hazards are described in this section. Statements made here regarding height are given in MSL, and if given otherwise, AGL or ceiling CIG will be noted. 3. Synopsis gives a brief summary identifying the location and movement of pressure systems, fronts, and circulation patterns. 4. VFR clouds and weather. This section lists expected sky conditions, visibility, and weather for the next 12 hours, and an outlook for the following 6 hours. Weather charts are graphic charts that depict current or forecast weather. They provide an overall picture of the United States and should be used in the beginning stages of flight planning. Typically, weather charts show the movement of major weather systems and fronts. Surface analysis, weather depiction, and radar summary charts are sources of current weather information. Significant weather prognostic charts provide an overall forecast weather picture. The surface analysis chart, shown above, depicts an analysis of the current surface weather. This chart is a computer-prepared report that is transmitted every 3 hours and covers the contiguous 48 states and adjacent areas. A surface analysis chart shows the areas of high and low pressure, fronts, temperatures, dew points, wind directions and speeds, local weather, and visual obstructions. Surface weather observations for reporting points across the United States are also depicted on this chart. Each of these reporting points is illustrated by a station model. A station model includes 1. Type of observation. A round model indicates an official weather observer made the observation. A square model indicates the observation is from an automated station. 2. Sky cover. The station model depicts total sky cover and is shown as clear, scattered, broken, overcast, or obscured, partially obscured. 3. Clouds, represented by specific symbols. Low cloud symbols are placed beneath the station model, while middle and high cloud symbols are placed directly above the station model. Typically, only one type of cloud will be depicted with the station model. 4. Sea level pressure, given in 3 digits to the nearest tenth of a millibar, MB. For 1,000 millibars or greater, prefix a 10 to the 3 digits. For less than 1,000 millibars, prefix a 9 to the 3 digits. 5. Pressure change tendency. Pressure change in tenths of millibars over the past 3 hours. This is depicted directly below the sea level pressure. 6. Precipitation. A record of the precipitation that has fallen over the last 6 hours to the nearest hundredth of an inch. 7. Dew point, given in degrees Fahrenheit. 8. Present weather. Over 100 different weather symbols are used to describe the current weather. 9. Temperature, given in degrees Fahrenheit. 10. Wind. True direction of wind is given by the wind pointer line, indicating the direction from which the wind is coming. A short barb is equal to 5 knots of wind, a long barb is equal to 10 knots of wind, and a pennant is equal to 50 knots. A weather depiction chart, shown above, details surface conditions as derived from METAR and other surface observations. The weather depiction chart is prepared and transmitted by computer every 3 hours beginning at 0100 Zulu time and is valid at the time of the plotted data. It is designed to be used for flight planning by giving an overall picture of the weather across the United States. This type of chart typically displays major fronts or areas of high and low pressure. The weather depiction chart also provides a graphic display of IFR, VFR, and MVFR, marginal VFR weather. Areas of IFR conditions, ceilings less than 1,000 feet and visibility less than 3 miles, are shown by a hatched area outlined by a smooth line. MVFR regions, ceilings 1,000 to 3,000 feet, visibility 3 to 5 miles, are shown by a non-hatched area outlined by a smooth line. Areas of VFR, no ceiling or ceiling greater than 3,000 feet and visibility greater than 5 miles, are not outlined. Weather depiction charts show a modified station model that provides sky conditions in the form of total sky cover, cloud height or ceiling, weather and obstructions to visibility, but does not include wind or pressure readings like the surface analysis chart. A bracket symbol to the right of the station indicates the observation was made by an automated station. A radar summary chart is a graphically depicted collection of radar weather reports, SDs. The chart is published hourly at 35 minutes past the hour. It displays areas of precipitation as well as information regarding the characteristics of the precipitation. The radar summary chart is a valuable tool for pre-flight planning. It does, however, contain several limitations for the usage of the chart. This chart depicts only areas of precipitation. It will not show areas of clouds and fog with no appreciable precipitation, or the height of the tops and bases of the clouds. Radar summary charts are a depiction of current precipitation and should be used in conjunction with the current METAR and weather forecasts. A radar summary chart includes 1. No information. If information is not reported, the chart will say NA. If no echoes are detected, the chart will say NE. 2. Precipitation intensity contours. Intensity can be described as one of 6 levels and is shown on the chart by 3 contour intervals. 3. Height of tops. The heights of the echo tops are given in hundreds of feet MSL. 4. Movement of cells. Individual cell movement is indicated by an arrow pointing in the direction of movement. The speed of movement in knots is the number at the top of the arrowhead. LM indicates little movement. 5. Type of precipitation. The type of precipitation is marked on the chart using specific symbols. These symbols are not the same as used on the METAR charts. 6. Echo configuration. Echoes are shown as being areas, cells, or lines. 7. Weather watches. Severe weather watch areas for tornadoes and severe thunderstorms are depicted by boxes outlined with heavy dashed lines. Significant weather prognostic charts are available for low-level significant weather from the surface to flight level 240, 24,000 feet, also referred to as the 400 millibar level, and high-level significant weather from flight level 250 to flight level 600, 25,000 to 60,000 feet. The primary concern of this discussion is the low-level significant weather prognostic chart. The low-level chart comes in two forms: the 12 and 24-hour forecast chart and the 36 and 48-hour surface forecast chart. The first chart is a 4-panel chart that includes 12 and 24-hour forecasts for significant weather and surface weather. Charts are issued 4 times a day at 0000 Zulu, 0600 Zulu, 1200 Zulu, and 1800 Zulu. The valid time for the chart is printed on the lower left corner of each panel. The upper 2 panels show forecast significant weather, which may include non-convective turbulence, freezing levels, and IFR or MVFR weather. Areas of moderate or greater turbulence are enclosed in dashed lines. Numbers within these areas give the height of the turbulence in hundreds of feet MSL. Figures below the line show the anticipated base, while figures above the line show the top of the zone of turbulence. Also shown on this panel are areas of VFR, IFR, and MVFR. IFR areas are enclosed by solid lines, MVFR areas are enclosed by scalloped lines, and the remaining unenclosed area is designated VFR. Zigzag lines and the letters SFC indicate freezing levels in that area are at the surface. Freezing level height contours for the highest freezing level are drawn at 4,000-foot intervals with dashed lines. The lower 2 panels show the forecast surface weather and depicts the forecast locations and characteristics of pressure systems, fronts, and precipitation. Standard symbols are used to show fronts and pressure centers. Direction of movement of the pressure center is depicted by an arrow. The speed in knots is shown next to the arrow. In addition, areas of forecast precipitation and thunderstorms are outlined. Areas of precipitation that are shaded indicate at least 1/2 of the area is being affected by the precipitation. Unique symbols indicate the type of precipitation and the manner in which it occurs. Prognostic charts are an excellent source of information for pre-flight planning. However, this chart should be viewed in light of current conditions and specific local area forecasts. The 36 and 48-hour significant weather prognostic chart is an extension of the 12 and 24-hour forecast. It provides information regarding surface weather forecasts and includes a discussion of the forecast. This chart is issued twice a day. It typically contains forecast positions and characteristics of pressure patterns, fronts, and precipitation. An example of a 36 and 48-hour surface prognostic chart is shown above. While no weather forecast is guaranteed to be 100% accurate, pilots have access to a myriad of weather information on which to base flight decisions. Weather products available for pre-flight planning, to en route information received over the radio or via satellite link, provide the pilot with the most accurate and up-to-date information available. Each report provides a piece of the weather puzzle. Pilots must use several reports to get an overall picture and gain an understanding of the weather that will affect the safe completion of a flight. This concludes your introduction to aviation weather services. We hope you learned a lot. Please help us spread the word about Pilot Training System, and we look forward to further servicing your flight training needs.